Good morning. Welcome to algebra class. Our topic for this week is about rational exponents. This is from your textbook pages 381 to 388. Before we start, I want you to prepare the following: your algebra textbook, your pen, and your copybook. These are our objectives: to define the meaning of rational exponents and to simplify expressions with rational exponents. Rational exponents are expressions with exponents that are rational numbers. We can write a radical expression in an equivalent form using fractional or rational exponent instead of radical sign. For example, we have x raised to a over b. We can rewrite that as b of x raised to a, wherein b should not be equal to 0. We have the given x raised to a over b, and our base is x. The numerator a will be the exponent of our base, and b is the denominator, or this is the index or the number before the radical sign. In general, nth root of x is equal to x raised to 1 over n for any positive integer n. Like the radical form, the exponent form indicates the principal root. Nth root of x. Our base x has no exponent, so it means it has invisible 1. And we will put 1 from our numerator, and n will be our denominator from our rational exponent. I have here some examples. We have square root of 36. Square root of 36 is equal to 36 raised to 1/2. Next example, cube root of 64. Cube root of 64, it is equal to 64 raised to 1 over 3. Next, fourth root of 16. Fourth root of 16 is equal to 16 raised to 1 over 4. Problem number 1. Simplifying expressions with rational exponents. Part A. What is the simplified form of the expression 216 raised to 1 over 3? Think, what does the denominator of the fractional exponent represent? The denominator of the fraction is the index of the radical. From 216 raised to 1 over 3, what is our index? Yes, our index is 3. The first step is to rewrite as radical. So 216 raised to 1 over 3 is equal to cube root of 216. What is the cube root of 216? Or what number multiplied by itself 3 times? The answer is 216. Yes, and that is equal to 6. So 216 raised to 1 over 3 is equal to 6. Next question, part B. What is the simplified form of the expression 7 raised to 1/2 times 7 raised to 1/2? 7 raised to 1/2 is equal to square root of 7. So square root of 7 times square root of 7 is square root of 49. What is square root of 49? Or what number multiplied 2 times by itself? The answer is 49. Yes, that is equal to 7. You can also solve this problem by adding the exponents. 7 raised to 1/2 times 7 raised to 1/2 is equal to 7 raised to 1/2 plus 1/2. And what is 1/2 plus 1/2? Yes, that is equal to 1. So we have 7 raised to 1, 4. That is equal to 7. Part C. What is the simplified form of the expression 5 raised to 1 over 4 times 125 raised to 1 over 4? First step, we will write this as radicals. 5 raised to 1 over 4 is 4th root of 5. 125 raised to 1 over 4 is 4th root of 125. Since we have the same index and same exponent from our base, we will multiply our base for the number inside the radical sign. Next step, multiply. So 4th root of 5 times 125 is equal to 4th root of 625. Next step, simplify. What is 4th root of 625? Or what number multiply 4 times by itself? The answer is 625. Yes, and that is equal to 5. Let's answer cut at 1. Question. What is the simplified form of the expression 64 raised to 1/2? I will give you 20 seconds to answer this question. Timer starts now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Up. What is your answer? Okay. The answer is 64 raised to 1 over 2. That is equal to square root of 64. We need to rewrite this rational exponent as radicals. Now, what is square root of 64? The square root of 64 is 8. Very good. Problem 2. Converting between exponential and radical forms. Before we start our discussion, let us watch this video.
In this problem, you will convert between exponential and radical forms. Part A. What is x to the 3/7 power in radical form? Does the fraction 3 divided by 7 need to be simplified first? No. The fraction is already in lowest terms. Use the definition of a rational exponent. Part B. What is y to the negative 3 and 5/10 power in radical form? To start, convert the decimal exponent to a fraction. Then use the definitions of negative exponents and rational exponents to rewrite the expression. Remember that when you write a square root, you don't need to write the index. Finally, factor the denominator and simplify. y to the negative 3 and 5/10 power equals 1 divided by y cubed times the square root of y, or the square root of y divided by y to the 4th power. Part C. What is the square root of a to the 5th power in exponential form? The index of a square root is 2, so use 2 as the denominator of the exponent. Part D. What is the 5th root of b to the 3rd power in exponential form? The index is 5, so use 5 as the denominator of the exponent.
Okay, let's answer that at number 2. What are the expressions w raised to negative 5 over 8 and w raised to 0.2 in radical form? I'll give you 10 seconds to answer this question. Timer starts now.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Up, let us check your answer. Okay, for w raised to negative 5 over 8, since we have negative exponent, we will make it 1 over w raised to 5 over 8. W raised to 5 over 8. What is this in radical form? Yes, that is 8 root of w raised to 5. So the 1 over 8 root of w raised to 5 times what term or radical form we can multiply by 8 root of w raised to 5 to make it perfect 8 root. Yes, and that is 8 root of w raised to 3. So we will multiply 8 root of w raised to 3 on both numerator and denominator. So 1 times 8 root of w raised to 3 is 8 root of w raised to 3. And 8 root of w raised to 5 times 8 root of w raised to 3, that is equal to w. Why? W raised to 5 times w raised to 3 is w raised to 8. And the 8th root of w raised to 8 is that is equal to w. So the final answer is the 8th root of w raised to 3 over w. Next, we have w raised to 2 tenths. Since we have decimal in our exponent, we can rewrite this as a fraction. So w raised to 2 over 10, make it simplify. So w raised to 1 over 5. Write this in radical form. Since we have 5 in our index, so it will be the 5th root of w.